Hello everyone, welcome to Miss Lee's class. Today we're going to learn fraction exponents and radicals. Okay, so I want you to look at this. A to the power of 1 over 2 times a to the power of 1 over 2. Okay, power times power. So what do we have to do? 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2. What's half plus half? That is 1. So a to the power of 1 over 2 times a to the power of 1 over 2 is 1. Is that right? What about this one? So you have a to the power of 1/3, a to the power of 1/3, and a to the power of 1/3 here. Then you add 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3. Then keep the denominator, and 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. So that is a to the power of 1. Okay, so if you multiply a to the power of 1 over 2 twice, or if you multiply a to the power of 1/3 3 times, it becomes just a. So you can just omit 1, so write it a, right? Then what about this? Square root of a times square root of a. So remember this, everyone? Square root of a squared and the square root and the exponent 2 will cancel out, and the leftover will be a. This one, cube root a, cube root a, cube root a. You're multiplying, you're repeating multiplying 3 times. Then again, cube root and the exponent 3 cancel out, it becomes a. Okay, let's compare this. When you multiply a to the power of 1 over 2 twice, it becomes a. When you multiply square root of a twice, it becomes a. That means a to the power of 1 over 2 and square root are the same. Same thing here. A to the power of 1/3. When you multiply a to the power of 1/3 3 times, cube root a 3 times, it becomes a. That means a to the power of 1/3 and cube root a are the same, right? So remember this, and remember when you have a square root, 2 is hiding here. It's basically a to the power of 1 over 2 is square root, 2 is hiding, square root of a, and a to the power of 1/3 is cube root a. So you don't really write square root 2 here, but just remember 2, there's hidden 2 here. Then what will be a to the power of 1/5? What do you think? It becomes 5th root of a. So do you see the pattern? So when you have nth root of x, if you change this to a power, it becomes x to the power of 1 over n. Okay, so this is a radical sign, and we call this index, and x is radicand, right? All right, then consider this. A to the power of 1/3 to the power of 2. So we know a to the power of 1/3 is cube root a, right? So thus it's the same as cube root a to the power of 2. And also, everyone, a to the power of 1/3 square, when you have this, you can just multiply those two numbers. When you multiply it, So this becomes 2 over 1. 1 times 2 becomes 2. 3 times 1 becomes 3. So that is a to the power of 2/3. That is same as this and this. So you can just represent a to the power of 2/3. So 3 goes to the index, 2 goes to the exponent. Right? So in general, so when you have x to the power of m over n, you can represent it x to the power of 1 over n to the power of m. You can write it nth root of x bracket m, or that is the same as nth root x to the power of n. So there are two ways of representing it. So x to the power of m over n, you can just represent as a radical, using a radical, thus, or nth root of x to the power of m. Okay, there are two ways of representing this. Make sense, everyone? So when you have 1 here, you just write it like that. But when you have a certain number, say 2, you also need to put 2 here. Or when you have 2 here, you can also put bracket and put 2 here. So there are two ways of representing the fractional exponents as radical. All right, let's move on. So 40 to the power of 2 over 3. Let's represent this in radical form in two ways. So you have 3 denominator. Denominator goes to the index. Bracket to the power of 2. Or cube root 40 squared. So there are two ways of representing this power. Okay, express each power as an equivalent radical. Here, simple. Square root of 64, so 2 here, but you don't really write 2. Okay, you omit 2. Here, 16 to the power of 3 over 4. So 4th root of 16 cubed. Or 4th root of 16 to the power of 3. So there are two ways. This one. So cube root 8x squared. Express each radical as an exponent. So now you're going to change this to an exponent. So remember, 2 is hiding here. Then 16, the index goes to the denominator. 16 to the power of 2 over 2. That becomes 16 to the power of 1. So it's basically, you can just cancel the square root and the exponent 2, right? This one, 6. This goes to the denominator, 2 over 3. S, 2 goes to the denominator. You should omit this, but the question just wrote it like this. So the 2, 4 over 2. That becomes 4 over 2 is 2s squared. Determine each value exactly. Okay, no calculator. All right. Then everyone, 27. 27 is a 3 cubed 2 over 3. Okay, then 3 to the power of 3 over 1 times 2 over 3. Reduce it. It becomes 3 squared. That is 9. Okay, what about this, everyone? So this is same as 16 to the power of negative 1 over 2. And negative sign. Negative sign. When you have negative sign in the exponent, you flip the base and make the exponent positive. Okay, after that, what we're going to do is we're going to take square root, because 1/2 is the same as square root. And we're going to split it like this. So root 1 is 1. Root 16 is 4. So the answer is 1/4. Okay, next, this time, we're going to change this one first. Okay, so 3, this becomes 2 to the power of 3. 8 is 2 to the power of 3. -2/3. Okay, 3 times 3/1 times -2/3. 3 cancel. 2 -2/1. Then that is 2 to the power of -2. Okay, negative exponent. You flip the base and make the exponent positive. So 1/2 squared is 1/4. 81. 81 is 3 to the power of 4. 0.25. Then 4 times 0.25 is 1. So the answer is 3. Alright, everyone, I want you to pause the video and try E and F by yourself. Go ahead, everyone. Alright, have you tried E and F by yourself? Okay, so 16. Everyone, 16 is 2 to the power of one number. 2 to the power of 4, right? -1.5. Then 2 times 1.5 is 6. So that becomes 2 to the power of -6. Then we flip the base, make the exponent positive. Then everyone, 1/2 to the power of 6 is 64. Or we can also use 4 squared. So there are two ways. So 4 squared to the power of -1.5. It becomes 4 to the power of -3. Then 1/4 cubed. And that is also 1/64. 9 to the power of 1.5. 3 squared, 1.5. 3 to the power of 3. That becomes 27. Okay, let's move to the next question. Example 5. So there's a formula to estimate the brain mass, B kilogram. So B is the brain mass and M is the body mass, right? So we are going to estimate the brain mass of each animal. So B, 0.01, N to the power of 2/3, but a husky with a body mass 27 kilogram. So we're going to put 27. Don't forget to put bracket. Put 27 into M. And that becomes 0.01. So times, so you always need to remember multiplication is hiding here. 27 is 3 to the power of 3 to the power of 2/3, right? Then that is 0.01 times 3/1 times 2/3. So 3 cancel out and 2 left. Okay, that is 0.01 times 3 times 3 is 9. So the answer is 0.09 kilogram. So 0.09 kilogram. Alright, polar bear with a body mass 200 kilogram. Okay, so brain mass 0.01 times 200 kilogram 2 over 3. So we're going to put this into the calculator. All right. Okay, so 0.01 times, don't forget to put bracket around it, 200 to the power of 2 over 3. So in your calculator, it's better to put bracket around the fraction as well. Like this. Then that is 0.3419. Okay, so let's keep to the small, 0.34. So the answer will be 0.34 kilogram. All right. So that is it for today's this lesson. So I want you to start doing your homework. Thanks for watching.